Hey guys, this is a video for our unit exam for proportional relationships. I'm going to be recording and reading part 1 and part 2. So first you'll select your block, put in your last name, and put in your first name. Question number 1. The table below shows the relationship between the number of downloads and the total cost. What is the constant of proportionality of the total cost to the number of downloads? I want you to just remember that when you're doing this, you have to put y over x, or y divided by x. Hint, hint, on this table, these are your x values and these are your y values. So go ahead and select your correct answer for that one. Question number 2. In a scale drawing of an apartment, 1 centimeter represents 2 3/4 feet. If the length of the kitchen is 4.5 centimeters on the scale drawing, what is the actual length in feet of the kitchen? So you have 1 centimeter over 2 3/4 or 3/4 feet. Putting feet on the bottom. They're actually asking you what the length is in feet. So you know that, this is 4.5 centimeters. And that's centimeters. And they want to know what that number is that goes down here. What do you have to do to get from here to here? I'll give you a hint. And whatever you do to the top, you have to do to the bottom to get that number. So go ahead and solve that one, and hopefully you get it correct. Which representation shows a proportional relationship between x and y? Hint, has to be a straight line, has to go through the origin, and the constant of proportionality has to be the same for all numbers. Remember, we're talking about y over x. Question number 4. In the morning, a farm worker packed 3 pints of strawberries every 4 minutes. In the afternoon, she packed 2 pints of strawberries every 3 minutes. What was the difference between her morning and afternoon packing rates in pints per hour? Here's the morning. Here's the afternoon. Here's what she's doing. That's the afternoon. She's doing 3 pints of strawberries every 4 minutes. And over here, she's doing 2 pints of strawberries every 3 minutes. The thing is, this is out of minutes and not out of hours. If you want to make the bottom number out of hours, you would just make that a complex fraction, and you would put 4 over 60. And over here, you would do the same thing because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So guys, what you have to do is put these numbers in your calculator, and then you have to find the difference between them both. That will give you the difference between her morning and afternoon packing rate. So you have to do 3 divided by 4 ABC 60 to figure out this one. Also figure out this one, and then you have to find the difference. This next one, it says the graph shows the amount of money that Hachi earns at his job in relation to the number of hours he worked. What does the point 0, 0 mean? So they're asking what 0, 0 means. Remember, this value is x listed first, and this value is y. Let's not forget that this axis right here, the x value, is this, hours worked, and the y value is this, money earned in dollars. So the options that you can choose are Hachi does not earn any money if he does not work. Hachi does not earn any money when he works. Hachi worked 0 days last week, or Hachi earned $0 last week. Which one of those makes the most sense? Question number 6, a florist uses 200 lilies to make 8 identical floral arrangements. How many lilies would the florist use to make 6 identical arrangements? So you know it takes her 200 lilies to make 8. We want to know how many it would take to get 6. Okay? If I were you, I might cross multiply to figure out what your X value is. Find the unit rate demonstrated in the graph below. Remember, you have to pick a point here. It looks like it definitely intersects maybe here exactly. And that would be, this is the Y value, and this is the X value. That's an X, not a backwards Y. So if that's the point you're using, you have to do Y over X to figure out the miles per hour. Okay, so use that point. You'd have to actually go over and see that value and go down here and see that value. Nick is making bread dough. The recipe requires 3/4 cup of flour and 1 1/8 teaspoons of salt. Nick wants to make the recipe using 1 cup of flour. To maintain the ratio, how much salt is required when 1 cup of flour is, when 1 cup of flour is used? So if we're doing 3/4 cups, and we want it to be 1 full cup. And we want this to be this. And we want 1 1/8. There we go. And I would suggest, again, you can cross multiply to figure that one out. So just to be sure, let me Okay, so yeah, so you'd cross multiply 3/4 times X, and then you'd do 1 1/8 times 1, which hopefully no stays the same, and then you'd get 3/4 X equals 1 1/8, and you'd have to divide by something on both sides to find your answer. The graph below shows the relationship between the number of hours Cody worked and the amount of money he earns at his job. Which of the following statements is not true about the relationship? So remember, this is Y and this is X. It says if Cody worked 14 hours, he will earn $105. Is that true? If Cody earned $120, he has worked 16 hours. Is that true? If Cody worked 20 hours, he will earn $160. The situation demonstrates a proportional relationship. So which one of those is not true? In order to figure that out, you're probably going to have to find the unit rate. If you want to find the unit rate, I would use this point right here probably. So Y over X, Y divided by X, you'd have to use those numbers and figure out the unit rate. And that would probably help you. A store sells potatoes in 5-pound bags for $2.29. Which of the following bags of potatoes would be the same price per pound? So first, you'd have to do money. Remember, money's always on top. Money over pounds. You'd have to figure out how much for $2.29 on the top divided by 5 pounds, what the unit rate is. And then you'd have to do money divided by each of these pounds to see which one each gives you the same thing or the same number. Jocelyn was comparing the price of cucumbers from several different stands at the market. Which sign shows a proportional relationship in the pricing of cucumbers? Remember, in order for it to be proportional, you have to do money divided by the number of cucumbers, money over cucumbers. And all of these would have to be the same. So you're checking each. You're doing $2.50 divided by 5 equals what? $4 divided by 10 equals what? If all of those are the same number, they equal the same, then it's proportional. If you get one different number, it's not proportional and you have to go try the next one. 250 divided by 5, 450 divided by 10, so on and so forth. Is it all the same? Then that's your proportional one. If not, try the next one. All right? Okay, a recipe requires 2/3 cup of milk for each 1/5 cup of chocolate. How many cups of chocolate are needed for each cup of milk? So they want to know chocolate over milk. I'll put a CH. So you need to do chocolate over the number of how much milk. Put it in your calculator. Remember this line means to divide. So see which one you get. Excuse me. The graph below shows the proportional relationship between the area of a triangle T and the area of a rectangle R with identical base length and height. Which equation represents the relationship between T and R? T would be like your Y value. Remember that, guys? And R is like your X value. So does T equal 2R? Does T equal 1/2 R? Does R equal 1/2 T? Or does R equal 2 divided by T? And you're going to have to look at the graph. You're going to have to, set up an equation. And just remember, our original equation when we're finding the constant is y equals k, which is the constant, which you have to find out, x. But this time, you're using something different for these. You're using t equals k and then r. So that's the formula that they're using. It's the same as this. And k, in order to find the k value, you always have to do y divided by x. So what do you think you're going to do to find the k value here? Y over x. And you already have the points listed, so you have to do that. Mrs. Crank gave her students 15 minutes to solve math problems. Rudolph solved 9.5 problems in that time. Excuse me. At what rate of problems per hour did Rudolph solve? Well, he solved, you're doing problems per hour. How many problems did he solve? Problems up here. Per hour. Well, he was only given 15 minutes out of 60. Right? So you have to do how many ever problems divided by 15 ABC 60 to find the answer. The graph below shows the proportional relationship between the number of cups of milk and the number of cups of strawberry juice in a recipe for strawberry milk. What is the meaning of 0.1, 0.5? Remember, that's the X value listed first, and the 0.5 is the Y value. What does that mean? For every 0.5 cups of milk, there should be 0.5 cups of strawberry juice. For every 0.5 cups of milk, there should be 1 cup of strawberry juice. For every 1 cup of milk, there should be 0.5 cups of strawberry juice. Or for every 1 cup of milk, there should be 1 cup of strawberry juice. And that's the last problem. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, I'm going to do the recording of part 2. Nope, I'll do that in a different video. So I'm going to stop recording here. You'll get another video to finish part 2.